Social Security reforms could push reverse mortgages into the mainstream. Welcome back to the Industry Leader Update. Social Security reforms could push reverse mortgages into the mainstream. Semaphore News reports a bipartisan group is being led by Senators Angus King, Independent of Maine, and also Bill Cassidy, Republican of Louisiana. They're considering gradually increasing the retirement age to about 70 as part of their legislation to overhaul Social Security. Semaphore has learned this from two people briefed on their efforts. If such legislation was to come to pass, those who had planned on drawing on their Social Security benefits at a younger age, definitely below 70, they're going to have to look to other sources of income, maybe their home value, for cash flow. Now, of course, this is not how anyone would want to see the widespread acceptance of reverse mortgages, but then again, necessity is the mother of invention, and future retirees may have to get somewhat creative to secure a decent retirement. Increasing the minimum age at which one might begin drawing benefits is not the only proposal that's on the table for reform. Other options include revamping the formula that presently calculates the monthly benefits based on a worker's average earnings over 35 years to a formula that's calculated on the actual number of years that one is working and contributing to Social Security. Now, both Senators King and Cassidy told Semaphore there are not cuts for Americans currently receiving benefits in our plan. Now, what's not said is just as important. Ultimately, any postponement of Social Security eligibility or recasting the benefit formula means most Americans in the future will be receiving less money during their lifetime. The Congressional Budget Office reports if Congress fails to enact needed reforms for the Social Security Fund, benefits will be reduced by approximately 20%, that beginning in the year 2032. Any future reduction of benefits or increases to the retirement age could create a perfect storm, one that could force millions to look at what is typically their largest asset, their home. Columnist Joseph Zabalos-Roig observes that any increase in the retirement age for Social Security is likely going to be a non-starter with congressional Democrats. In fact, Democrats are more likely to support a Social Security tax on annual earnings above the current cap of $160,000. Regardless, our nation as a whole, elected officials, and yes, citizens alike, have a serious spending problem. And that applies to both parties. Now, until the federal government's largesse with taxpayer dollars in discretionary spending is diminished, mandatory budget items, such as Social Security and Medicare, will be targeted repeatedly for cuts or for new sources of revenue. And with entitlement spending accounting for nearly 1/3 of the U.S. federal budget, citizens of all ages will want to stand up and take notice. In the short term, we can expect the usual, for Congress to kick the proverbial can down the road. After all, who wants to lose their seat for backing such needed reforms? Let the next guy or gal do it. However, at some point, Social Security benefits will either have to be reduced or postponed, neither which is painless. Now, when the reforms eventually come, they will likely serve as a driving force for millions of older Americans to look to their home's value as a potential stopgap in their retirement income planning. Now, a question for you. How do you think older Americans would respond if Social Security benefits were cut or the eligibility age was increased? Comment below and share your thoughts. Also, if you'd be so kind as to share this week's video, we appreciate that. You can do that in your LinkedIn and Facebook profiles. And don't forget, we have a YouTube channel. Be sure to hit the subscribe button and you can hit the notification bell. That way, anytime we release a new video, you're immediately notified. And you can catch up on your reverse mortgage news just by plugging in those headphones or your Bluetooth headphones, if that's the case, by listening to our weekly podcast, HECM World Weekly. Apple users can listen and subscribe on iTunes. That's a wrap for us this week, and we'll see you again next Monday for more reverse mortgage news, commentary, and analysis here at HECM World.